Exclusive contract novel from Feilu Novel Network. 3 Kingdoms. Starting with a fierce attack on Lu Bu through time travel, Chen Xu arrived at the end of the Eastern Han Dynasty and awakened the divine level selection system. Just as he had just traveled, he met an inconspicuous thug. He beat up that thug. Before leaving, he disdainfully said, "Isn't he just a thug? There are still 2 chicken feathers on my head. What kind of outfit is it? Do you think you are Lu Bu, PoohBastard? I'm really Lu BuChen Xu." Entered the Situ Mansion, presented a series of tricks, and brought **** Diao Chan, ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining Xiang Yu's command, military strength, and the powerful marksmanship. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have obtained Diao Chan. Complete the dual tasks of intercepting Dong Zhuo and Lu Bu. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Dong Zhuo's feature. Owl Hero. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the LV attribute. 1 Ride. Chen Xu made divine choices and cut off his beard all the way, leading a shameless and unabashed life. Jie Hu Zhong Dao, Jie Hu Cao Pi, Jie Hu Liu Bei, JieFeilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Divine Selection System. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. A young man in a gray long shirt was standing on the street in a daze, looking at the people around and listening to their voices of discussion. He finally confirmed that he had arrived at Chang'an City in the late Eastern Han Dynasty. The boy's name is Chen Xu, and he used to be an ordinary high school student in the future. After failing the exam and feeling unhappy, he drank 2 more glasses. Unexpectedly, when it reappeared, it traveled back to the end of the Eastern Han Dynasty. "Let's just go through this time, why don't we even send a system?" he murmured in his heart. At this moment, a systematic sound rang out in his mind. Ding, detected the presence of the host, the system is currently binding. Chen Xu couldn't help but be overjoyed. As a long-time fan of novel websites, he naturally has a good understanding of the standard system for this time traveler. At this moment, he rubbed his hands and his face was full of anticipation. Ding, the divine level selection system has been loaded and is now being bound. Please wait. The divine level selection system has been successfully bound. Chen Xu let out a long sigh of relief. The God-level selection system sounds pretty good. But soon he realized something was wrong. This system has been successfully bound, why don't you even give a beginner's gift package as a gift? He couldn't have encountered a deduction system, could he? At present, he said to the system, "System, where is my newbie gift package?" Immediately, the sound of the system rang out in his mind. Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining the beginner's gift pack and convincing them with reward features. Reward intelligence plus 10. Reward 5 baht and 10,000 yuan. Characteristic persuasion. The success rate of persuading others has significantly increased. Chen Xu couldn't help but feel overjoyed and quickly looked at the system interface. Name. Chen Xu, courtesy name. Dongxing age. 18 years old. Command. 40 force. 40 intelligence. 80 politics. 40 charm. 70 feature. Persuasion. Seeing his own attributes, Chen Xu couldn't help but have a black line on his face. This attribute is too speechless. If we set aside the intelligence that has just increased by 10 points and only look at the other attributes, this is a good way to play tricks. Looking at the only characteristic, he sighed. Can't this be for him to talk nonsense? He is a man who wants to dominate the world. At this moment, several voices rang out beside him. Have you heard that Dong Xiangwa killed Xikong Zhangwen? Is it really fake? This can still be false. I heard that Zhang Wen colluded with Yuan Shu to plot against Dong Xiangwa. Shu, keep your voice down and talk about this in front of Wang Situ's door. Don't you want to live anymore? Listening to the sound in his ear, Chen Xu pondered in his heart. Dong Xiangua. Isn't that Dong Pengzi? Dong Pengzi just killed Xikong Zhangwen. He vaguely remembered that this incident seemed to be the direct reason why Wang Yun, the old boy, used a series of tricks to get rid of Dong Pengzi. I don't know if Wang Yun, that old kid, has come up with a series of tricks yet. Thinking of the serial plot, Chen Xu unconsciously thought of Diao Chan. TSK, that's Diao Chan with a closed moon appearance. If only I could kiss Fengxian. At this moment, the sound of the system rang in his ears. Ding, it has been detected that the host is facing selection. The task has been updated, please choose. Option 1. If you're feeling uneasy, leave Chang'an immediately. Task reward. 1 book of the Demon Repeating Sword Manual. Option 2. Present a series of strategies to Wang Yun to help the world eliminate thieves and stay in Chang'an. Task reward. 1 shop in Chang'an City. Option 3. Present a series of strategies to Wang Yun to help the world eliminate thieves, and intercept Hu Dong Zhuo and Hu Bu to obtain Diao Chan. Task reward. Obtain the command and force of Western Chu's overlord Xiang Yu, as well as the overlord's marksmanship. If the beard is successfully intercepted, you will also receive a random reward. Seeing option 1, Chen Xu couldn't help but feel a chill in his crotch. Good guy, are you so vicious? This is not suitable for me, system. You should keep it for yourself. I don't know if the system has a gender. Seeing the reward in option 2, he hesitated slightly when he saw a shop in Chang'an. But soon, he denied it. The following Chang'an was plagued by years of turmoil. Li Yan and Guosi, among others, are not rational masters. He is a young man with 4 waists, and one day he will be cracked by someone. When Chen Xu saw option 3, his eyes couldn't help but brighten up. Cut off Hu Dong Zhuo, cut off Hu Lu Bu, take away Diao Chan. Is it so exciting? So, isn't it that Lu Bu is out of the game next? Mind him. At this time, there's no need to worry about Lu Bu. Where is it cool, where is it staying? This is Diao Chan. The name of Diao Chan is unknown to everyone. It's not easy to travel once. If you can truly kiss the beauty of Diao Chan, then there's no need for this trip. Moreover, the reward is also excellent. Xiang Yu was a figure who truly stood at the peak of the military on the stage of the history of the Heavenly Dynasty. There is a saying that, the king cannot surpass the Xiang. The Xiang in this, Wang Bu Xiang, refers to Xiang Yu, the hegemon of Western Chu. There is also an evaluation of, Feather's divine courage, eternal and unique. Now that the military force and commander of the Western Chu dynasty are at the forefront, and there is also the king's marksmanship at the back, there is nothing to hesitate about. This is a double harvest of love and career. Is he about to reach the pinnacle of his life? I just don't know what that random reward is. He shook his head and frowned. How on earth can we offer a serial plan? How to take away Diao Chan? All of this, however, made him suffer. Wait. Chen Xu's eyes flickered slightly as he looked towards the attribute interface. That characteristic persuasion is clearly displayed there. I don't know how effective this persuasion will be. Anyway, give it a try. At present, he silently recited to the system in his heart, System, I choose option 3. Immediately, Chen Xu followed the words of those people and looked towards his side. Sure enough, not far in front of him, a grand mansion stood there. Isn't it the mansion of that old boy Wang Yun? Come on. It's you. Immediately, Chen Xu saw the denim shorts on his body and a bitter smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. If I enter Wang Yun's mansion, I'm afraid I will be arrested. Get it? It's better to find a store and purchase a set of clothes first. He looked around. Originally, there was a clothing store in front of him. At that moment, he walked towards that place. As I walked, I pondered how to persuade that old boy Wang Yun later. Lu Bu is walking along the long street with great strides. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. Beating Lu Bu. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Lu Bu was quite proud. He was recently promoted to the rank of Zhonglang General and was granted the title of Duding Ho. He fought alone against Lu Guan, Zhang Sanying, and frightened all the 18 vassals, with no one daring to step forward. Thus, he completely established his position as the world's top warrior. What excites him even more is that over the past few days, his military prowess has come to fruition. This is not. He just killed one of the 3 nobles, Sikong Zhangwen, today. A cold smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Ha, Sikong. In my hands, it's just a little chicken waiting to be slaughtered. Bang Lu Bu collided solidly with someone. His sexual desire was interrupted, making him uncontrollably angry. Immediately, he only felt a pain in the back of his foot. What? How dare you step on me? He looked up and saw a young man dressed strangely, looking at him with a bewildered expression. What was he saying in his mouth? Xiao Lu. What's missing? What? You said I'm not strategic. Aren't you saying I'm stupid? Lu Bu's heart lit up and he let out a loud shout, Kid, you're looking for death. This strange young man is none other than Chen Xu. He was pondering how to persuade the old boy Wang Yun to go there. I didn't expect to bump into someone. He immediately blurted out a sorry sentence. But he didn't expect that he had already apologized. How could the person in front of him still curse? This is seeing Lu Bu's burly figure, he immediately became discouraged. Forget it. Please forgive me and forgive me. Lu Bu saw that Chen Xu was going to leave, so he wouldn't be willing. He reached out his hand and grabbed towards Chen Xu. At this moment, a voice rang out in Chen Xu's mind. Ding, detected that the host is in danger. The system is now issuing a selection task. Please choose. Option 1. Give mercy to others. Task reward. 1 Sunflower Classic. Palace Punishment 3-piece set. Ensure absolute authenticity and no residue after use. Host can use it with confidence. Option 2. What to pick up? Let's talk about it after a burst of blows. There's nothing wrong, it can't be solved with a single blow. If there is, then 2 blows. Task reward. Master level melee combat. PS Close combat, which includes all close combat techniques such as martial arts, Jeet Kune Do, Judo, Karate, Taekwondo, and Thai boxing. Seeing option 1, Chen Xu's mouth twitched. This is tough. This is even more ruthless than the exorcism sword manual just now. Restoring the original flavor. System, why don't you keep it for yourself to enjoy? Ah. This is sour and refreshing. Do you see the master level melee combat technique in option 2? He was overjoyed. I really fell asleep, so I brought a pillow. What else is there to say? It's him. He silently said in his heart, System, I choose option 2. Ding, congratulations to the host for completing the selection. Considering the current urgent situation, the master level melee combat skills have been issued. As soon as the sound of the system fell, countless images flooded into Chen Xu's mind. In these scenes, there are the figures of Bruce Lee, Yi Wen, and Tyson. Chen Xu came to his senses and felt that his body was noticeably stronger. He soon saw Lu Bu grabbing his hand and had already arrived in front of him. He instinctively grabbed Lu Bu's hands and pulled towards the right rear. Immediately, he extended his right foot and hooked it. Bang! Before Lu Bu could react, he fell firmly to the ground. Lu Bu is extremely angry. He shouted loudly, "Thief, how dare you do this?" He stood up and glared angrily at Chen Xu. Immediately, with a clang, the 7-star sword on his waist had already been unsheathed. With a roar, this knife struck at Chen Xu. Chen Xu's figure flashed and he passed the knife. In a classic, ah-duh, sound, he punched heavily on Lu Bu's face. Lu Bu's nose was sore, and blood flowed profusely, and his eyes could no longer open. Chen Xu took advantage of the situation and kicked Lu Bu in the leg. Lu Bu stood unsteadily and fell to the ground with a thud. The 7-star sword in his hand also fell to the side. Done. Chen Xu clapped his hands and was about to leave. At this moment, he was swayed by the gemstone on the 7-star sword. What is this? Is it a gemstone? Chen Xu walked backwards and saw the 7 gemstones on the 7-star sword, which made him overjoyed. Such a big gem. 7 more. If it's sold, I don't know how much it can be exchanged. He bent down and picked up the 7-star sword. Before leaving, he even glared at Lu Bu and muttered, "Isn't he just a thug? There are 2 chicken feathers stuck in his head, what are you pretending to be? Do you think you're Lu Bu, Pooh?" As he spoke, he stomped heavily on Lu Bu's back. Lu Bu's body, which had just climbed up, was suddenly heavily trampled on by Chen Xu and fell to the ground. Chen Xu sheathed his sword and inserted the 7-star treasure blade into his waist before leaving with satisfaction. And in his mind, a systematic sound rang out. Ding, congratulations to the host for completing the emergency mission, obtaining task rewards, reputation plus 200. Chen Xu scratched his head, feeling somewhat puzzled. If you hit anyone on the street, you'll gain 200 points of fame. Your system is too casual. However, I like it. Just a few moments ago, Lu Bu was completely stunned. He stood up and saw that Chen Xu's figure was no longer around him, and then he took a long sigh of relief. Immediately, he saw people around him pointing at him. Fortunately, at this moment, his face was covered in blood, and the people around him did not recognize him. He dared not stay any longer, covered his face with his hands, and ran away in a flash. Chen Xu, who had already changed into a new outfit, straightened his clothes and walked towards the gate of the Situ Mansion. He arrived at the gate of the Situ Mansion and was stopped by a soldier. "What do you do?" Chen Xu arched his hand slightly and said, "I am Chen Xu. I have something important to attend to and would like to meet with Wang Situ." The soldier's eyes flickered slightly as he looked at Chen Xu and said, "Are you Chen Xu and Chen Dongsheng?" Chen Xu couldn't help but pause slightly. He just remembered that his character, isn't it Dongsheng? The rising sun rises to the east, hence the name Dongsheng. He didn't react at all just now. At this moment, I always feel that the word Dongsheng is a bit strange. The soldier's tone softened a bit and said, "It turns out that Mr. Dongsheng has arrived. Please wait a moment, Mr. Dongsheng. I will go in and report now. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. Presents a series of tricks, only for Diao Chan. You are listening at novel full.audio. As he spoke, the soldier greeted the soldier next to him and walked inside. Chen Xu was a bit confused. He didn't quite understand something. Why did the soldier look completely different in his eyes? This is not. The soldier who remained in place also had an accompanying smile on his face. Although he was somewhat unclear, he still maintained his usual composure on the surface. After waiting for a while, a butler followed the soldiers and walked out from inside. The butler walked straight to Chen Xu, bowed to him, and smiled, saying, "Mr. Dongsheng, my master is here. Please come with me, sir." Chen Xu followed behind the butler, passing through the corridor and courtyard. In no time, they arrived at a study. The layout of the study is quite impressive. Inside the study, there was an old man sitting upright. Chen Xu thought to himself. This person must be Situ Wang Yun. Immediately, he saw the old man's data. Name. Wang Yun. Age. 54 years old. Command. 56 force. 26 intelligence. 72 politics. 83 charm. 46. Seeing Wang Yun's attributes, he couldn't help but admire him greatly. Amazing. That's amazing. This time, he can be considered to have met his opponent. Look, what does a hand without the power to bind a chicken mean? However, seeing Wang Yun's frail old man, he deeply agrees with this data. Seeing Chen Xu approaching, Wang Yun waved and said, "It turns out that Dongxing is here. Hurry up and invite him inside." Chen Xu nodded and walked into the study. He bowed to Wang Yun with a clasped fist and said, "Straight in, grassroots citizen Chen Xu, pay respects to Wang Situ." Wang Yunlang smiled and said, "Dongxing, you are quite famous in Chang'an, but you don't need to be so polite." Well known. Chen Xu's heart twitched slightly. Could it be that this is really related to the reputation he gained before? He gave a faint smile and stood aside. Wang Yun saw that Chen Xu had not spoken, so he took the initiative to ask, "Dongxing, have you something important to report to the soldiers?" Chen Xu nodded lightly and said, "That's right." As he spoke, he glanced around. Wang Yun understood and said with a smile, "It doesn't matter if you speak in the East. This is my study, and without my orders, servants dare not approach easily." Chen Xu clenched his fists and said in a loud voice, "Nowadays, the Dong thieves are in chaos and the government and the public are restless. The people of the Han Dynasty are not living in poverty everywhere. I wonder if Wang Situ intends to eliminate the Dong thieves." Wang Yun's face changed slightly, and he whispered, "You're so brave. Who made you act like this? Hurry up and tell the truth." Nowadays, Dong Xianhua responds to the will of heaven and embodies the sentiments of the people. Everyone in the court and the public praises each other. How dare you speak evil words to deceive others? It's a sword that deceives Wang Yun, isn't it unfavorable? As he spoke, he had already stood up. With a clatter. Sword unsheathed. Chen Xu couldn't help but secretly sigh in his heart. Wang Yun, this old boy, his acting skills are really amazing. If we put it in the future and get an actor, it may be more than enough. If it weren't for him coming from the future, he would have a clear understanding of Wang Yun's thoughts. Otherwise, there is really a possibility that you might have been deceived by Wang Yun's performance. But now. He. Chen Xu gave a faint smile. He placed his hands behind his back, stretched his neck, and said, "Today, I, Chen Xu, stand here. If Wang Situ is truly serving the thief, then I, Chen Xu, am not talented. May my passion and blood spread throughout the land of my great Han. It can also be considered that I, Chen Xu, have contributed my humble efforts for my great Han. Good courage. It's really good courage." Wang Yunlang shouted loudly. He held his sword and took a few steps to approach Chen Xu. Seeing Chen Xu still hesitant, he looked as if he was going to die with emotion. His heart couldn't help but vibrate greatly. He casually threw the sword aside. Immediately, he slammed his hands heavily on Chen Xu's body and said, "If all the people of the great Han Dynasty were like those who ascended to the east, why worry about the instability of the world and the failure to eliminate the Dong thieves?" As he spoke, Wang Yun looked at Chen Xu like this, with a hint of strangeness in his eyes. Chen Xu couldn't help but feel a little flustered. The look in Wang Yun's eyes made him feel a bit flustered. He couldn't help but cough lightly. Wang Yun finally realized and let go of his hand, feeling embarrassed as he said, "I lost my composure and made Dongxing laugh. I didn't hurt you, did I?" Chen Xu shook his head and said, "It's okay. In my heart, I secretly disdain it." Can you even pat me with your 26-strength vegetable chicken? Are you afraid you're not joking? Wang Yun naturally didn't know what Chen Xu was thinking, his emotions were very excited. He paced back and forth in the study for a few steps before finally approaching Chen Xu and lowering his voice, saying, "Not bad. I, Wang Yun, do have the heart to eliminate Dong thieves. Dong thieves' abuse of power and humiliation of the Holy Emperor, while I, Wang Yunrong, serve as the Minister of Works, I am unable to share the worries of the Holy Emperor." During his speech, his mood was quite low. But soon, his eyes lit up slightly and he said, "Dongsheng said so, I believe there must be a plan to eliminate thieves. Please teach me the method of eliminating thieves, Dongsheng, for the Great Han's plan." He bowed deeply as he spoke. Chen Xu quickly dodged and said to the general, "Wang Situ's heart is worried about the Great Han. I, Chen Xu, greatly admire him. To be honest, this is exactly why I came this time." He lowered his voice and said, "I have a series of tricks. Once used, that Dong thief will definitely be doomed." "Oh. A series of tricks." Wang Yun was overjoyed. "That's great. Please teach me the importance of promotion." Chen Xu, however, arched his hand and said sincerely, "Wang Situ, I have a heartless request. Please accept it." Wang Yun's face was taken aback. "Wang Situ, when I was young, I once saw a woman with extraordinary beauty. Even after seeing her, I never forgot her. Over the years, I have been searching everywhere just to find my former friend. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Seeing Diao Chan for the first time, her beauty is peerless. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As Chen Xu spoke, a hint of memory flashed in his eyes and he said, "It wasn't until recently that I found out. That woman was saved by Wang Situ during a military disaster. I have been taken in by Wang Situ in the mansion and treated him with the courtesy of a daughter." Chen Xu pondered for a long time and finally came up with a good plan to defeat the Dong thief. He had the audacity to come and offer this chain of tricks, hoping to ask Wang Situ to agree, all because of my admiration. Wang Yun frowned slightly and said, "Who do you believe in when you speak?" Chen Xu arched his hand and said, "This woman is the daughter of Renang, now known as Diao Chan." Wang Yun's eyebrows furrowed deeply. This Diao Chan is his adopted daughter. Her beauty is unparalleled, rare in the world. He was really reluctant to send it out like this. He stared at Chen Xu for a long time. On the surface, he remained calm, but in his heart, he was quite thoughtful. Chen Xu, at a young age, has already gained considerable fame in the city of Chang'an. Both are excellent in terms of character and character. If there is really a good plan, get rid of that Dong thief. In terms of intelligence and strategy, I think it's also excellent. If that's the case, then this son's future is definitely limitless. This time, if you use Diao Chan, you can tie this son to your side, which is a good way. At that moment, Wang Yun nodded and said, "Dongsheng. If you can really help me eliminate the Dong thief this time, then I will do as you say, it's not a bad thing." Upon hearing these words, Chen Xu felt great joy in his heart. At this moment, he just wants to shout out loud. But while Wang Situ was by his side, he couldn't be so reckless. At the moment, he smiled faintly and bowed, saying, "So, Chen Xu is here, thank you first." He cleared his throat and spoke confidently. That Dong thief is also a lascivious person. His adopted son, Lv, although brave, is also a lascivious person. He said as he stretched out his index finger and stroke, "We only need to pick a beautiful woman and let her navigate between the two, and do that strategy of separation. Lu, an untrustworthy villain, can't bear it. Just like this, like this, like this, like this, great things have been accomplished." Wang Yun listened to Chen Xu's eloquence. His face went from confusion to a sudden realization. At the end, he patted the table and laughed loudly, "Wonderful. It's really wonderful. The plan of Dongsheng is interconnected and intricately crafted. The meticulousness of my thoughts truly impresses me." As he spoke, he bowed deeply to Chen Xu and said, "I apologize for Dongsheng on behalf of the great Han. Dongsheng's wisdom is comparable to Zhang Liang, and I admire it." Chen Xu dodged and stepped aside, hesitant to speak, but feeling quite proud in his heart. This strategy was originally conceived by an old man like Wang Yun. "This time, before you think of it, I offered flowers as a gift to Buddha. After hearing this, I naturally appreciate your temperament." He felt secretly happy in his heart, but his face remained as indifferent as before. Diao Chan, the number one beauty of the three kingdoms, is finally about to be obtained. Seeing Wang Yun still pondering, he reminded him, "Wang Situ, if not, let me go see Diao Chan first." "How about that?" Wang Yun suddenly said, "That's good. It concerns all the people in the world. I need to carefully consider that strategy. I won't be personally accompanying you." As he spoke, he shouted loudly outside, "Butler." At that moment, the steward of Wang Yun's mansion ran in from outside. Upon receiving Wang Yun's order, the butler led Chen Xu towards the backyard of the Situ Mansion, passing through several doors. As they were walking, a sound of the piano came into their ears. Chen Xu turned his head to look at the butler and said, "Who is playing the piano here?" "The front is where Miss Diao Chan is located. It must be Miss Diao Chan playing the piano." They turned around a courtyard door again. The scene before him made Chen Xu's heart seem to have missed a few beats. He stared blankly before his eyes. In the peony pavilion, there is a woman sitting there peacefully. Her delicate jade hands were gently plucking at the strings of the piano. A beautiful piece of music, as the strings pluck, flows out slowly like a trickle. His appearance and beauty are truly stunning. She knelt there, perfectly displaying her figure. Her figure is perfect to the extreme. That slender waist, as if it were tightly clenched. And the plump place is also plump and perfect to the extreme. This woman, in both her physique and appearance, is the only one he has ever seen in his life. Although he couldn't see his face, just what he saw in front of him made his heart skip a beat. Beside her, all the flowers have lost their color. The sound of the qin is gentle and seems to be telling something. Chen Xu's heart was filled with a clear realization. Yes. This must be Diao Chan, it must be her. Immediately, the attributes of the woman in front of him also appeared. Name: Diao Chan. Age: 15 years old. Command: 20 force. 26 intelligence. 81 politics. 65 charm. 99 features. Qinghua, Yuzhuo. What a powerful attribute. This charm is invincible. And this unique feature is truly a perfect match for Diao Chan. The butler beside me has already retired. Chen Xu couldn't help but walk forward. After playing a song, Diao Chan let out a long sigh. Why is the girl sighing? Is there anything on her mind? A voice suddenly sounded in front of her, startling Diao Chan. She retorted, "Who are you and why are you here?" As she spoke, her body was about to retreat. Just because she sat for a long time and suddenly stood up, her legs became a bit weak. Immediately, he leaned backwards. Diao Chan couldn't help but let out a sigh in her heart. If you fall to the ground like this, I'm afraid one bad thing could hurt you. Upon seeing this, Chen Xu quickly took a step and came behind Diao Chan. He reached out his hand and embraced Diao Chan in his arms. A warm and fragrant soft jade entered his arms, and a fragrance that belonged exclusively to the young girl penetrated straight into his nostrils. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. Laughing at the city, laughing at the country again. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chen Xu finally saw Diao Chan's face. The Diao Chan in front of me has eyebrows and eyes like dye. On the delicate face, the facial features are perfect to the extreme. Every frown and smile carries an indescribable charm. Coupled with that perfect figure, a perfect goddess. Even that day when the immortal descended to earth, it was nothing more. Chen Xu couldn't help but secretly exclaim in his heart. How beautiful! It's really beautiful. Looking at the peerless beauty in my arms. Looking at her fragile face, feeling the softness in her arms. For a moment, he couldn't help but feel a bit foolish. Diao Chan thought that this fall was inevitable, but she never expected to be saved by the person in front of her. She lifted her head and coincidentally met Chen Xu's gaze. Her heart inexplicably panicked. This person is very handsome. A thought emerged in her heart. She has never had such intimate contact with a man before. Her delicate face was already covered in blush. However, lying in his arms, I really feel so secure. At the thought of this, Diao Chan's heart was like a deer bumping around. She felt as if her whole body had lost its strength, soft and fluffy. Chen Xu held Diao Chan in his arms. And Diao Chan lay quietly in Chen Xu's arms like this. Both of them seemed to have forgotten the time. After a while, the two finally came to their senses. Diao Chan coughed lightly and said, "Young master, can you let me go?" Upon hearing this, Chen Xu laughed loudly and said, "Miss Diao Chan, you have offended me." He supported Diao Chan and stood still. After finishing his clothes, he arched his hand at Diao Chan and said, "Chen Xu, have you seen Diao Chan?" After leaving Chen Xu's embrace, a sense of loss surged in Diao Chan's heart for some reason. However, upon hearing Chen Xu's name, Diao Chan's heart couldn't help but jump. She covered her mouth and looked at Chen Xu incredulously. So, is this Chen Xu? Is this the famous scholar, Chen Dongsheng? Chen Xu furrowed his brows slightly and said, "If you have any worries, please let me know. I, Chen Xu, am willing to share your worries with you. Is it possible that someone is bullying you?" At the end, his soared eyebrows raised, revealing a murderous intent in his words. "Mr. Dongsheng, did he actually care about me?" In Diao Chan's heart, inexplicably, there is a joy. She sighed lightly and said, "Recently, I have seen my adoptive father's eyebrows furrowed and his face sad. I think he must have encountered something difficult. I am a daughter, but it is inconvenient to inquire, so I sigh here." As Diao Chan spoke, her eyebrows lightly furrowed. Chen Xu felt great pity and said in a loud voice, "Miss, if you're worried about this matter, there's no need to worry. I have already helped him solve the problem that Wang Situ is worried about." "Really?" Diao Chan's face flashed with a hint of surprise. "No exaggeration." Chen Xu said confidently, "One of my purposes this time is to solve Wang Situ's worries." He didn't say the last sentence. "Anyway, the ultimate goal is for you. Diao Chan." Diao Chan smiled at the words. She bowed to Chen Xu Ying and said softly, "Diao Chan is here." "Thank you, young master." Chen Xu couldn't help but be stunned. Smile at the city, smile at the country again. This time, he finally realized it. Seeing Chen Xu's dazed expression, Diao Chan's face was even more joyful. Watching Diao Chan, a poem came to Chen Xu's mind. He instinctively recited it. Clouds think of clothes, flowers think of faces, and the spring breeze brushes the threshold with dew. Diao Chan felt even more shy upon hearing these words. A brilliant light flashed in her eyes. Such an excellent poem, surprisingly easy to come by, it is truly amazing. Is this Mr. Dongsheng? She thought to herself, is this poem written for me? With such thoughts, a hint of sweetness surged into her heart. I saw Diao Chan giving a plump bow, her tone full of admiration, and she said, "Young Master Dongxing, you are a great talent, and there are even more rumors. Little woman Diao Chan, I admire you so much." At this moment, Chen Xu was stunned. He looked at Diao Chan and asked in confusion, "Miss Diao Chan, do you know me?" Diao Chan snorted and laughed. The name of Dongxing Gongzi is unknown to anyone in Chang'an City. Even that 3-year-old child has already heard of Gongzi's name. However, I believe that rumors are not enough to believe. The talent of Dongxing young master is 10 times, 100 times stronger than what was rumored. At this moment, Chen Xu was completely stunned. Is this true? When did I become so famous? Seeing Chen Xu's appearance, a hint of shyness flashed on Diao Chan's face and she said, "Young Master Dongxing, as you said earlier, one of your purposes in coming here is to solve my adoptive father's troubles. I don't know what your other purpose is, what is it?" Chen Xu's eyes were fixed on Diao Chan, and his face was full of sincerity as he said, "I came here specifically for the girl." "Me?" Diao Chan suddenly stood there. "Exactly." Chen Xu said with deep affection on his face, "The reason why I helped Wang Situ solve the problem is because of what I did, Mississippi. Moreover, just now I had already asked Wang Situ to marry a girl, and he had already agreed." Diao Chan's face flashed with a hint of shyness, but soon she said with a puzzled expression, "Young master, are you serious about this? There is no exaggeration." Chen Xu leaned over to Diao Chan and said softly, "When Chen Xu was a child, he had the privilege of seeing a girl's beauty. Since then, the girl's voice, appearance, and smile have been lingering before my eyes. Over the years, I have been inquiring everywhere, and what I have done is, Mississippi. A few days ago, I finally found Miss, and it turned out to be in the Situ Mansion. Therefore, after spending several days and nights, I finally came up with a clever plan to alleviate Wang Situ's worries. I came here to offer this plan, and it was only then that Wang Situ agreed to marry me, Mississippi." Upon hearing these words, Diao Chan was also moved in her heart. She has never seen or heard of these things. Although she didn't know when she had met the young master Dongxing in front of her. But with the knowledge and reputation of Dongxing Gongzi, there is no need to engage in deceit for her as a woman. There is someone in the world who can do so much for her. And this person is still a famous scholar like Dongxing Gongzi. What else can she hope for in this life? P.S. The new book set sale, please help readers move their fingers. Flowers, tips, review tickets, and comment support. Your support is my motivation to code characters. The more awesome the readers are, the ruder my update is. The author is here, thank you. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Cutting off the Sable Cicada, triple reward. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Diao Chan bowed to Chen Xu Yingying and said, "I have a graceful appearance like a willow. I will not be abandoned by the young master, and I am very happy. However, this is a lifelong event, and I still need the personal approval of my adoptive father." Although she was shy, she still revealed her thoughts in her heart. Upon hearing these words, Chen Xu was overjoyed. He took a step and came to Diao Chan's side, hugging her tightly. Then he laughed loudly and said, "That's great. It's really great." After a while, Chen Xu awkwardly withdrew his hand and said, "Miss Diao Chan, I'm Meng Lang. It's really a wish that has been made for many years, and it will be fulfilled in one day. I'm too happy in my heart." Diao Chan has already blushed with embarrassment. But she felt Chen Xu's sincerity. She nodded slightly and let out a soft, mosquito-like sound. She also has a great admiration for Chen Xu. It is not an exaggeration to say that in today's Chang'an, in terms of reputation, Chen Xu is a lucky one among the younger generation. Moreover, she just witnessed Chen Xu's talent. His literary style is rare in the world. Talents love beauties. Beauty, why not admire talents? Her head gently leaned towards Chen Xu's chest. Chen Xu was momentarily stunned, and then his heart was filled with great joy. Beautiful women are like this. As a man, don't you know how to seize opportunities? At present, he reached out his hand and placed Diao Chan in his arms. The two stood quietly, enjoying this peace. After a while, Chen Xu lowered his head and looked at the stunning face in his arms, saying, "Chaner, come with me." Diao Chan gently nodded in favor. "But you don't want to ask, where will I take you?" Chen Xu said with some confusion. "After reporting to the adoptive father, Chaner will become Dongsheng's Chaner. Wherever you go, Chaner will naturally go too." Diao Chan's tone was not heavy, but there was an immense firmness in her words. Chen Xu grabbed Diao Chan's hand and said, "Cicada, let's leave Chang'an together." Diao Chan once again gave a gentle grace. Chen Xu's eyes were full of tenderness. He looked at Diao Chan and said in a soft voice, "If you get a woman like this, why do you want a husband?" As he spoke, he tightened his grip on Diao Chan's right hand and pulled her to his side, saying, "Let's go, come with me, go meet Wang Situ." Diao Chan was like this, letting Chen Xu hold her hand. Her eyes were fixed on Chen Xu, as if she wanted to imprint him in her heart. Her face was full of smiles. Perhaps this is the taste of happiness. Upon seeing the arrival of the two, Wang Yun paused to ponder and welcomed them in. Then he smiled and asked, "How is it?" Chen Xu arched his hand at Wang Yun and said with a loud smile, "This Diao Chan is the woman I have been searching for many years. I want to take Diao Chan away, and I kindly ask Wang Situ to agree." Wang Yun looked at Chen Xu, silently pondering in his heart. At first glance, Chen Xuji's serial plan doesn't seem too complicated. But the more I think about it, the more exquisite it becomes. The most crucial thing is that among them, the personalities of Dong Zhuo and Lv Bu are all considered dead. As long as the plan is executed smoothly, there is no risk of failure. But to execute smoothly is by no means an easy task. The requirements for that beautiful woman are quite high. And after much thought, the most suitable one was Diao Chan. It's just that he has already agreed to Chen Xu. Chen Xu saw that Wang Yun had been silent for a long time. His eyebrows furrowed slightly and he said, "Wang Situ, is it my strategy? What's the problem?" Wang Yun shook and said, "No." Chen Xu's face darkened and he said, "So what do you mean by this?" Faced with Chen Xu's questioning, Wang Yun pondered for a while before nodding and saying, "Dongsheng, rest assured that what I promised will not change." Just as Wang Yun finished speaking, a systematic voice rang out in Chen Xu's mind. "Ding, congratulations to the host for completing the mission and obtaining the task reward. Commander and force of the Western Chu King Xiang Yu, and obtaining the King's Spear. Ding, congratulations to the host for successfully obtaining Diao Chan. Complete the dual tasks of Shu Hu Dong Zhuo and Shu Hu Liu Bei. Complete the task of intercepting Dong Zhuo's beard and receive the task reward. Dong Zhuo's characteristic hero. Complete the task of intercepting the Hu Liu Bei and receive the task reward. Lu Bu's characteristic. 1 ride. Characteristic owl. Within the range of the host, the full ability of enemy troops is reduced by 10%. Feature 1. In solo competitions, the likelihood of gaining an advantage is greatly increased. Line trough. Character explosion. All of a sudden, I made a lot of money. Not only did I receive the reward for selecting tasks at the divine level, but I also received 2 additional beard-cutting rewards. But now, it's not the time to claim these rewards. If there is anything unusual that Wang Yun discovers when receiving the reward, it's not beautiful either. However, what he didn't expect was that the reward for cutting off the beard was so generous. Isn't that what you're saying? Can you consider cutting your beard yourself? Cut off the big-eared thief and get Guan Yu and Zhang Fei first. Well, I can only think about it. After all, it's too late in terms of time. But it's still possible for the Hu de heir thief to obtain Zhao Yun. Speaking of which, it's only 2 years since Chu Ping, and it's hard to say that Zhao Yun hasn't defected to Gongsun yet. However, this is not the time to think about these things. After all, Wang Yun is still watching in front of him. At present, Chen Xu arched his hand at Wang Yun and said, "Thank you very much, Wang Situ. Just, Dongsheng, don't you consider staying in Chang'an City? I can recommend you to the emperor to become a Shiyuan colonel." Chen Xu was slightly moved. Wang Yun's offer of this position is already quite sincere. If it were in a peaceful era, he couldn't say it, so he agreed. Shiyuan colonel may seem like just a colonel, but in fact, his power and responsibility are not small. A few years ago, Cao Cao served as the colonel of Shiyuan. However, nowadays, the situation is not right. This Chang'an city will fall into chaos next year. Li Yan and Guosi will capture Chang'an city. When the time comes, staying here is definitely not a good choice. Furthermore, it should be noted that there is an Emperor Xian of Han above his head, and he cannot follow his wishes in all his actions. Only by leaving here can the sky soar with the clouds, and the sea be wide enough for birds to fly. At that moment, he shook his head and said with a smile, "Thank you very much for the kindness of Wang Situ. I'm used to being careless. If I were an official in court, I'm afraid it wouldn't be a good idea." Wang Yun stroked his beard and said with a smile, "Oh. I don't know, where do you mean by Dongsheng?" The new book set sail, begging for flowers, review tickets, and support. The first day is very important for the author. Please help. Thank you, little author. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. The Temptation of Tiger and Leopard Riding. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Where does it mean? Chen Xu began to ponder in his heart. Nowadays, it is already the second year of Chu Ping, which is 191 AD. At this point, most of the area has already been occupied by lords of all sizes. Jizhou was originally a good place, but unfortunately, it has already been occupied by Yuan Shao. There is Gongsun Zan in Yuzhou. Cao Cao occupied Yanzhou. There is Lu Biao in Jingzhou. There is Tao Qian in Shuzhou. Thinking of this, his heart twitched slightly. At this moment, a systematic sound rang out in his mind. Ding, detected host facing selection, system task has been updated, please select. Option 1. As requested by Wang Yun, stay in Chang'an and serve as the colonel of Shiyuan. Task reward. 1 Chang'an City Mansion. Option 2. Go to Jizhou and compete with Yuan Shao. Task reward. 100 war horses. Option 3. Go to Qingzhou and become the governor of Luan County. Task reward. 50 taels of gold. Option 4. Go to Yuzhou and become the prefect of Peijun. Task reward. 5,000 tiger and leopard riders. P.S. This task will only take effect if the host leaves Chang'an City. Option 1, without any hesitation, Chen Xu excluded it. In this chaotic world, what is the use of a mansion? Even if there are 10 or 8 seats, without one's own power, it is impossible to hold on. Furthermore, he was surrounded by stunning creatures like Diao Chan, and without some strength, he would undoubtedly be in danger of being killed one day. After finally coming to the Three Kingdoms, he didn't want to live the days of admiring others and breathing heavily anymore. Option 2 and Option 3 made him hesitate slightly. However, after seeing Option 4, he no longer hesitated. It's really the temptation of tigers and leopards riding, it's too great. Tiger and leopard cavalry are the most elite troops under Cao Cao's command. Among the three kingdoms, one of the top special forces. He also made remarkable military achievements for Cao Cao. In the subsequent Battle of Chohanpo, the great ear thief was crushed like a bereaved dog. If it weren't for Zhao Zilong and Zhang Fei, who wielded great power, I'm afraid there might still be Liu Bei in the future, or would they just say two things? However, at this time, Cao Cao was in urgent need of horses, and his subordinates certainly did not have tigers or leopards to ride. So, this tiger and leopard ride will be exclusive to me, Chen Xu. With such elite 5,000 tigers and leopards riding in hand, there is no place in the world where one cannot go. A touch of pride rose in his heart. At present, he silently recited in his heart, "System, I choose option 4. Immediately, he arched his hand at Wang Yun and said, "Wang Situ, I want to go to Yuzhou. If I could become the governor of Peijun in Yuzhou, it would be the best." However, after a long time, he found that Wang Yun had not responded. Then he looked up. I just realized that Wang Yun was staring straight at him. A chill rose in his heart. Hurriedly coughed lightly. What Chen Xu didn't know was that the reason for Wang Yun's brief absence at this moment was precisely Chen Xu himself. The arrogance he just exuded was really too domineering. It is precisely this domineering aura that has made Wang Yun feel a bit dazed. At this moment, Diao Chan beside Chen Xu also looked at him with a passionate expression on her face. Diao Chan's eyes were full of admiration. She didn't expect Chen Xu to have such a domineering side. This light cough woke up the two of them who were lost in consciousness. There was no trace of abnormality on Wang Yun's face. He was only slightly surprised and said, "Dongsheng, are you referring to Pei County in Yuzhou?" Chen Xu would choose Pei County in Yuzhou, but Wang Yun did not expect it. You should know that Yuzhou is bordered to the north by Cao Cao of Yenzhou, to the east by Tao Qian of Shuzhou, and to the south by Lu Biao. Moreover, most of the western part of Yuzhou has already been occupied by Yuan Shu. These few people are all difficult to deal with. He didn't quite understand what Chen Xu was thinking. He was puzzled and said, "Dongsheng, are you going to think about it? Yuzhou does have a chance. Kong Qian just died of illness a few days ago. I can propose to Dong, the Prime Minister, to appoint you as the prefect of Peijun. However, Dongsheng, since you have taken Diao Chan, I naturally regard you as my own person." Napai County is a 4-battle area, surrounded by Yuan Shu, Lu Biao, Cao Cao, and Tao Qian, each with strong strength. If you don't have some skills, it's probably difficult for you to establish yourself there. Chen Xu has some things to say, he can't speak clearly. He can't say that after choosing Pei County in Yuzhou, he will get 5,000 tigers and leopards to ride. As for Wang Yun's statement about his own people, he just heard it before. Wang Yun only treated Diao Chan as a political sacrifice. Where else would you really treat someone like yourself? At this point, I just realized that I had some useful value and wanted to win over a couple. He nodded and said, "Don't worry, Wang Situ. I have my own concerns in my heart." "Okay. So, I won't say anything more." Wang Yun nodded and said, "However, you still need to wait for 2 more days about this matter. I will report to Dong Xianghua tomorrow and take over the position of prefect of Pei County for you." Chen Xu bowed and said, "Thank you so much, Minister Wang." During their conversation, the two of them bowed to Wang Yun and then walked towards the backyard. Wang Yun looked at the back of the two holding hands and leaving, with a slight glint in his eyes. After returning to the backyard, Chen Xuzi faced the system and silently said in his heart, "System, claim the reward." Ding, congratulations to the host, the reward has been distributed. As soon as the system finished speaking, Chen Xu's mind came up with a rather mysterious set of shooting techniques. This shooting technique is called the Overlord shooting technique. All the moves inside were integrated into his mind. It was as if he had been immersed in this tyrannical marksmanship for many years. He had already understood everything about it. Immediately, Chen Xu realized that his body was also undergoing a transformation from heaven to earth. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Fengxian, are you afraid you might fall into someone's hands? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chen Xu felt a sudden surge of heat, which immediately surged throughout his body. His bones all over his body immediately made a soft sound. The whole body's blood also boiled along with it. The muscles all over the body also bulged up. He could feel that every cell in his body seemed to have explosive power. He started to get excited all over. He felt that even with a fierce tiger in front of him at this moment, he could also kill that fierce tiger. Chen Xu stepped towards the ground. Kaka a sound followed. Cracks appeared on the ground of the bluestone slab. Immediately afterwards, the entire slate cracked open. Chen Xu couldn't help but be surprised. He never expected that his strength would reach such a level. He quickly looked at the system interface, and soon his personal information appeared in front of him. Name: Chen Xu, courtesy name. Dongxing age: 18 years old. Command: 105 force. 108 intelligence. 80 politics. 40 charm. 70 features. Persuasion, owl, 1 rider. Martial arts. Overlord spear technique. Skill: master level melee combat. Seeing the attributes, Chen Xu couldn't help but feel delighted in the heart of the earth. Truly worthy of being the hegemon of Western Chu, Xiang Yu. This attribute is simply terrifying. At this moment, Chen Xu's heart was filled with satisfaction. He picked up the Diao Chan beside him, excitedly spinning in place. Diao Chan, who was originally looking at Chen Xu with some concern, suddenly forgot to worry. She just lowered her head slightly, with a shy expression on her face. After a while, Chen Xu finally released Diao Chan. Diao Chan looked concerned and said, Dongxing, what happened to you just now? Cicada, do you know? Just now, my strength has made a great breakthrough. Chen Xu couldn't conceal his excitement as he spoke. Upon hearing this, Diao Chan couldn't help but exclaim excitedly, really? That would be great. Chen Xu pondered for a moment. He always wants to be with Diao Chan, and there are some things that cannot be kept from Diao Chan all the time. It's better to explain it to Diao Chan a bit now. At that moment, he pulled Diao Chan and sat down inside the peony pavilion. As she approached her, she whispered, Cicada, I want to share a secret with you. A secret that only belongs to the two of us. Diao Chan was very excited when she heard these words. She lightly nodded her head and said softly, Don't worry, Dongxing. I will definitely keep this secret for both of us. Chen Xu said in a soft voice, When I was young, I was guided by immortals, learned some martial arts, and even practiced some immortal techniques. Because I had never encountered cicadas before, my martial arts skills were stuck at a bottleneck. Well, after encountering cicadas, my years of emotional attachment dissipated, which is why my martial arts skills have greatly improved. Diao Chan only felt a sense of trust. Dongxing, how could he share such important news with her? Thick sweetness surged into my heart. As Chen Xu spoke, he had already supported Diao Chan's fragrant shoulder and said, Cicada, don't worry. I will protect you for a lifetime. Diao Chan listened to Chen Xu's words of love, and her whole body felt as if it was crispy. She looked at Chen Xu foolishly. Looking at that exquisite and beautiful face, it was already within reach. Feeling the breathing of Diao Chan. Looking at the cherry mouth, it was slightly open. A faint aroma occasionally emanates from that small mouth. He can no longer bear it. He gently lowered his head and just like that, he printed it on. For a long time, lips parted. Diao Chan's breathing is somewhat rapid. She leaned gently against Chen Xu's chest. Chen Xu, however, felt slightly awkward. At this moment, he discovered a problem. There is a body odor on him. This body odor is somewhat similar to the smell of sweat, but it is much stronger. It seems that it was left behind when he had to systematically modify his body just now. He pushed Diao Chan and awkwardly said, "Cicada, when I broke through just now, there was a slight odor on my body." Diao Chan, however, drilled into Chen Xu's body and said, "Chen Lang, the smell on your body is really quite pleasant." Chen Xu was taken aback. According to the future. Is it possible that Diao Chan is completely devoted to him? Subsequently, under the shy expression on Diao Chan's face, Chen Xu borrowed Diao Chan's boudoir and took a good shower. During this time, it was natural to have a lot of flirting and teasing. After returning to the mansion, Lu Bu hid in his own room and dared not go out. He looked at the bronze mirror, looking left and right. That punch mark, as if it was engraved in my heart. Make him ashamed to see people. A servant outside the door came to report, "General, Dong Xiangwa, please." Lv Bu originally wanted to refuse, but Dong Zhuo tried to persuade him and he didn't dare not go. Within the Prime Minister's mansion, Dong Zhuo sat on top of the horse with a golden sword, and when he saw Lu Bu come in, he laughed loudly and said, "Fengxian, you're here. Come on, sit here." Immediately, he was taken aback and stared at Lu Bu's face, saying, "Fengxian, what's wrong with your face?" Lu Bu awkwardly said, "Yesterday when I was on the street, I fell." Dong Zhuo was taken aback at the words. On Lu Bu's face, there are 5 finger marks that are clearly visible. Is this a fall? Are you afraid you fell into someone's hand? He laughed loudly for a while before saying, "Fengxian, did you get beaten by the women when you forcibly robbed a commoner's daughter?" After speaking, he laughed himself first. "Let me tell you, Fengxian, it's time for you to find a wife. How about it? Do you want me to introduce you to one?" Upon hearing Dong Zhuo say so, Lu Bu couldn't help but give a bitter smile. But soon, a face that seemed to be angry and smiling appeared in his mind. This was what he saw by chance from the side curtain of the sedan chair while going out on the street. According to the people on the street, is that woman the adopted daughter of Wang Situ's family? He made up his mind. These days, whatever happens, I have to go to Wang Situ's house to see. If it's appropriate, he. Not long after coming out of Dong Zhuo's mansion, Lu Bu saw Wang Yun. His heart twitched. At this moment, Wang Yun took the initiative to greet him and said, "General Lv. Are you free in 2 days? Why don't you come to my mansion and sit down? I have prepared some good wine and will treat General well." Lu Bu was overjoyed and said, "You have time. You have time. Then you can disturb me. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. Lu Bu, who hides on the street corner and dares not to show his face. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This translator is experiencing an error, please try another translator. Chapter 10. Encountering a sedan chair, it turned out to be Kai Yen. Seeking freshness. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dongsheng. Lu Bu murmured. Well, it's Chen Dongsheng, who is quite famous in Chang'an City. Wang Yun said, looking at Lv Budo with confusion. General Lv, you should be referring to him, right? NN, it should be. Lu Bu gritted his teeth and memorized the name thoroughly in his heart. But Wang Yun still didn't notice all of this. He just smiled and said, Chen Dongsheng, he has gone to Pei County to take office. Pei County. Lu Bu's heart was very complicated. He secretly remembered all of this in his heart, and he made up his mind to find an opportunity to have a good competition on the warhorse. I drank a few more rounds. Under the strong praise of Wang Yun, Lu Bu was in a good mood. He couldn't hold back any longer and took the initiative to ask, Wang Situ, I heard that there is a adopted daughter in your family who is born with national beauty and heavenly fragrance. I wonder if I have the chance to meet her. Wang Yun couldn't help but be stunned. He didn't expect that Lu Bu would take the initiative to mention it. What is this situation? His adopted daughter. Isn't it just Diao Chan? However, unfortunately, you came one step late. Now, Diao Chan may have already left Chang'an City with Chen Xu. But just right. Wang Yun was slandering in his heart, but his face remained calm as he said, General LV, have you ever seen a little girl? Lu Bu laughed and said, that day on the street, I caught a glimpse from the Sedan curtain. It was truly amazing. Wang Yun breathed a sigh of relief. Just a glance. Fortunately. Although the adopted daughter is gone, can we accept it now? Since you like it, I will take the woman who was used to carry out the serial plan as my adopted daughter. Being able to catch General LV's attention is also a blessing for the little girl. As he spoke, he stood up and smiled, General LV, wait a moment, I will invite the little girl out. So great. So great. Lu Bu rubbed his hands and looked impatient. Not long after, Wang Yun led a woman and walked out from behind. Lu Bu frowned and looked up, down, left, and right. Wang Situ, did you make a mistake? Why, it seems like it's not very similar, he said with confusion. However, Wang Yun smiled and said, General LV, if it's just a false promise, I only have one adoptive daughter to marry. How about you take a closer look? Chen Xu walked forward all the way. In the afternoon, he saw a team of people and horses slowly walking in line ahead. Judging from the festive appearance, it is clear that it is marriage. This is an official road in the wilderness, but it is also too remote. I don't know where to marry. Seeing him puzzled, Diao Chan whispered in his ear and explained, Chen Lang, let's stay away. Look at the large number of people in that team, I think his husband's family must be very powerful. Upon hearing this, Chen Xu suddenly realized. So, just like before. This team has nearly 1,000 people. If it were an ordinary family, they really wouldn't be able to draw so many people. Anyway. I don't want to provoke too much myself. At that moment, he was ready to walk over from the side. At this moment, a burst of drumbeat sounded. Immediately after, a shout of killing echoed from above the mountain. Accompanied by the shouting of killing, a group of mountain bandits, wrapped in yellow scarves, rushed down from the foot of the mountain. Look at them one by one, holding knives and sticks, how they look, how strange. Chen Xu was taken aback in his heart. I'm afraid it's not a yellow scarf thief, is it? He didn't expect to see the yellow turban thief so quickly. What surprised him even more was that the yellow turban thief rushed straight into the welcoming procession ahead. In the welcoming team, hundreds of people also drew weapons and bravely faced the enemy. For a moment, the welcoming team also gained the upper hand. Chen Xu saw that it was not his concern and saw that the bandits could not gain any advantage, so he prepared to drive away. But there was another burst of shouting. On the official road ahead, a middle-aged man led a team of yellow turban thieves and stood in front of them. The middle-aged man, holding a long spear, rushed straight into the welcoming procession. His martial arts skills were quite strong, and with his help, the welcoming team suffered a huge defeat. The situation has taken a sharp turn for the worse. The welcoming team couldn't bear it and scattered in all directions. In the welcoming procession, there is a young woman sitting in a sedan chair. Her husband's family is far away in Hedong County. This time, it was her husband's family who welcomed her to Hedong County to get married. She just didn't expect to encounter the yellow turban thief halfway up the road. Her hands were tightly clasped together. Feeling quite nervous. And what was tightly held in her arms was a chain. This chain looks quite strange, with burnt marks on its tail. She quietly lifted the side curtains of the sedan chair and looked out. Outside, the welcoming procession had already run almost as fast. Her heart couldn't help but feel anxious. Now, what should we do? Chen Xu stopped his figure and looked quietly over there. Suddenly, his hand was tightly grasped by Diao Chan. He lowered his head and listened carefully, only to find Diao Chan murmuring, "Sister Xiaojie." "What?" Chen Xu asked in confusion. Diao Chan hesitated for a while before saying, Chen Lang, the bride in the sedan chair is Sister Xiaojie." Seeing that Chen Xu didn't react, she continued to explain, "Sister Xiaojie belongs to Uncle Kai Yong's family. We had met a few times before. She's very nice." She hesitated and said, "Chen Lang, if possible, save Sister Xiaojie." After speaking, she looked at Chen Xu with a worried expression on her face. "Kai Yong, Kai Xiaojie." Chen Xu was a bit stunned. This seems to be a bit wrong, isn't it? Why did Kai Xiaojie get married so late? Shouldn't it be? They got married long ago. He shook his head, thinking so much for what? Now that real people are right in front of us, there can still be fakes. Chen Xu looked at the sedan chair. Sure enough. A pretty face appeared from the side curtain of the sedan chair. On that pretty face, there was a look of anxiety. Kneeling for flowers, evaluation tickets, and support for comments. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.